just like rigid because I had to drop a whole major that I love, and I'm like, no! It's okay.
I'll give you my notes.
I'll live vicariously through you, Portia. Can we put my name on her diploma?
In the corner.
Plus
featuring.
Yes, I got it.
Oh my goodness. I technically graduated with technically.
I know it all.
But yeah.
You brought up some issues, but any other issues with academically?
Academic. I don't have an issue with, I love my professors. I have an issue with one professor. And I think it's a one-time case.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a big deal, but it is a pretty big deal for me. I am a very, very motivated learner. I don't have the best, academic education, but I am extremely motivated, and I felt like in this class I was knocked down a lot. I would ask a question, why I got something wrong in the quiz, and the response was yelling in my ear.
Oh.
And, it wasn't in my ear, but
the
professor yelled at me, and whoa, I cannot hear you when you yell.
Right.
I don't know, and that professor is so sweet at the same time. I don't know how that happened, but it's happened more than once, and that's it.
He or she maybe sees your questions as challenging and is taking it the wrong way.
I have a hard time viewing that because it's not a one-time case.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it's not to you.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's just some faculty see questions as challenges and what you're doing, which is just trying to understand.
Is it the challenges, or you mentioned is it your high school background that you feel like the professor thought you should have known something that you didn't?
I mean, they know that I didn't have the best high school background, but I don't know if it's that, but I feel like they yell at certain students, and I don't have any data to back that up.
Right.
I've tried to hear how they talk to other students, and some they're like, that's a great question, and then others it's yelling, and when you yell at me because I am trying to learn, no.
Okay. Yeah.
I've had a similar sort of experience actually when I was taking calculus. A lot of the kids in the class would our professor would kind of go through the steps and wouldn't actually show us the math that he did, where he would just do it in his head, and it's and then we would ask him how did you get to that? He's like, well, it's just algebra. And we're like, if we're asking it's because we don't know. Just please do the work on the board so we can understand. And then he would get mad at us because on the exams or whatever, we couldn't do simple algebra. But it's when you've been doing challenging math for so long, you forget something as simple as multiplying, which I know sounds crazy, but that's how it works. And we would try explaining that to him, and he'd kind of just be like, oh, well, it's just algebra, figure it out. And we're like, okay, thanks, that's really helpful. But I mean, for the most part, though, I've noticed a lot of teachers on this campus are very understanding. I myself, like I said, I have insomnia. I go to Wicker because I have depression, anxiety, and all that. And I've told professors, and they've been very very accommodating and understanding. So if a teacher sees me, in particular, I have Professor Bishop for bio. If she sees me dozing off, she doesn't get mad. She kind of just looks at me and is like, are you okay? Did you get enough sleep? And I'm like, no, I didn't, but thank you for asking. And it's something as small as that really makes me feel so much better, because it's they acknowledge that I do have problems, but I'm still trying. And the fact that she's being so accommodating, and again, she's the only professor that's done this for me and actually helps me out, but that's just fantastic. The fact that professors genuinely care about their students for the most part.
How have you found, we'll transition to, you mentioned the Wellness Center. How have you found that kind of health support here, health services at all? You've worked with Wellness, with Wicker rather?
Yeah, counseling's great. I go almost every week. It's pretty awesome. I'm much better now mentally than I was when I first arrived at Union, which is saying something. But yeah, I've loved it. I've had no issues with it. Yeah, I think that's my only thing.
Or just those kind of support services. How have you found?
I have not taken the opportunity to work with the counselors here, but I know personally I have a lot of medical background or issues where I'm glad I sent over my medical information, because they should know that on file that I have to take care of certain things, or I have to be treated for certain things in a certain way. But they weren't very helpful for that. There's certain things where my symptoms that I get from whenever I'm sick does resemble a stomach bug, but it's something more severe and much worse. So I had to be prescribed certain medicines for that because of it specifically, and you kind of waved me off as oh, it's stomach bugs growing around. You basically have a stomach bug, which is kind of purple. So I don't feel when you send in your medical information, they're actually looking over it or like reviewing it. I feel like they're just kind of breezing over, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but the symptoms kind of lend to this. Or like they assume that because you're a college student, you must have mono, you must be pregnant, or you must be there's basic 5 of like you must be, and if not, like what is that? Like that's beyond my knowledgeable abilities. I'm like, I don't understand. I always talk to myself like basically I'm the chapter they skimmed in medical school personally. Like that because I have so many issues, like internal-wise, but like I don't know. It's just I didn't really get the help and satisfaction I really needed for each time I go. And then one time I had a sore throat. She goes, "Gargle salt water." I'm like, I've been doing that. And she's like, okay, I'm drinking lemon water and honey, which I grew up drinking green tea, detox, all that things, like all exercising, all this doing all the things. Like, what can you do to help me? Because obviously my remedies aren't working. She goes, well, you guys gotta write it out. I'm like, what?
It gets to the point where it's like we might as well consult with me and be done with it. Like at this point, one of my friends freshman year actually had mono and Lyme disease at the same time.
Oh my God.
And Wicker was like, oh, you just have a cold. And she had to go home for an entire week because her tonsils were so swollen.
Oh no.
And she was so sick. But it's like, she told you what issue she was having and you guys just brushed it off as a cold, like seriously. And it's just, yeah. And then another friend of mine, I think, had a bad reaction. Yeah, another friend of mine had a bad reaction, I think, to like her birth control pills or something. And I took her to Wicker because she was like literally her eyes rolling at the back of her head, like her pulse was really high.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm a certified medical assistant, so I know not a lot, but some. So I knew something was wrong with her because her pulse was way too high, like her eyes rolling back of her head, and she wasn't standing straight and was kind of wobbling. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get you to Wicker. I walked her over. Also, there should be like an emergency, like a section to Wicker, because I feel like things happen in between their lunch period. There should be at least one person there just in case something happens. Because my friend and I had to wait like 20 minutes for Wicker to open. And I'm like, what if she passes out or like goes into cardiac arrest? Like I can't do anything. Like I can only do so much. But yeah, and then like they literally, my friend told them like what exactly was going on. I told them what was happening, that she had never done it before, but she recently started birth control pills. They completely ignored me. They brushed me off. And I was like, okay, that's a little rude, but whatever. And then like the EMTs that arrived paid more attention to me, which was kind of frustrating. And then she has to pay $2,000 to go to Ellis and for them to tell her that she had an anxiety attack when that wasn't what happened, because she knows what her anxiety attacks were like. It was just a very frustrating situation. And it drove me nuts. I'm like, yeah.
Thank you all. I know we kept you here probably a little over time, but I appreciate it very much. Any other things you want to make sure we get down the record? You like, go fix this, go.
There should be communication when the Wicker Wellness bills you. Like, they literally told me I need to get a shot this day, no day later. So I got the shot, didn't tell me it cost $40, put it on my account, and then just like, now I have a hold. Well, I had a hold, and I'm like, what is this hold? Where's it coming from? Right. And I would get my insurance to cover it, but because they put it on my tuition.
Yeah, they put it on tuition way too fast.
They didn't even tell me that there's a charge. They just said, you have to get it. I'm like, all right. So.
Yeah, Wicker moves, like, charges to tuition way too fast.
I
feel like there should at least be a grace period of, like, you have, like, 2 weeks to pay this at Wicker, and if not, they'll move the tuition.
Or it's like, I know certain doctor's offices, they also have, like, prescriptions where they write down what it went through. Like, oh, you should be getting email or, like, something in the mail about your bill. And you can email it yourself for your insurance, which is an inconvenience, but I'd rather that and know what I'm being billed for and seeing it all mapped out versus just, like, $40 here. Like, I had to get a brace for my tendonitis. I said, is it going to cost anything? She goes, I don't think so. And yes, of course, I was billed for it. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, just more clarity for that.
Yeah. Not to say that the secretary at Wicker was like, oh, you don't have to pay, it's on your tuition.
And she was like, but I pay my tuition myself.
She was like, I have a class that I'm really forced.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Take a bag. Those are for you. Fill it with food on the way out.